Roll Glen Entertainment.
I like the beat, so let it bang like that, 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 let it bang. I like the beat, so let it.
This is really cool too. There's a guy, this guy Grover. I want to
Yeah, Grover's awesome.
Grover in Boston. You're on the air.
Grover remix.
Yeah, with the Grover fucking remix.
Grover is his name.
I think Grover does a real good job with this. Here he is, Grover.
Grover of Brockton, Massachusetts.
Here's Grover with
Grover, definitely. He's really great.
He's great.
Awesome.
He's got a great voice.
Grover. Hey, Grover. Grover does all those great rap songs. What is right? Way to get down. That's Grover.
A super fan of the Howard Stern Show from Brockton,
I want to hear
Mass.
some of his regular music. I'm digging him so much here. I just play him Rover with a huge lawsuit.
Yeah. Grover.
Oh, Grover?
Grover's got a home recording studio.
Grover's a pretty talented dude, man. Thanks to Grover.
I met Grover, the rapper, over the weekend. He came to my Boston DVD signing. Do you know? Have you ever seen Grover?
No.
He's a white dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
I totally did not know that. Right, no, I mean, hey, I did not know that. It was startling.
Hey, what's cracking, serious fam? It's Hip Hop Nation. Straight hits, of course, 24/7. Chris out there, and super big shouts out to the boy Grover out of Brockton, Massachusetts. Thank you for lacing me on the hot intro.
And you can see some of Grover's work.
I'm all over the place in terms of like, I do a lot of comedy shit, I do a lot of heavy shit, dark shit. If you interviewed me tomorrow, you might get a different guy. I went a little crazy for a while there, and I started seeing a therapist, which is helping a lot. They put me on Lexapro. That's so I don't fucking beat the fuck out of people, and Klonopin, which little apprehensive, but it's helping me get through life. My family life's pretty fucked up right now. I got an awesome wife, my sister's cool, and the rest of it's kind of fucking falling apart around me. So music is like my fucking sanctuary. It's my temple, my safe place. That's my comfort zone. A lot of people they say public speaking is like one of the biggest fears, but for me that's my comfort zone, is making music or being in a room with musicians. And again, I don't go hard. I'm not out there fucking trying to conquer the world and get a record deal. I just make music to make music, and if people dig it, they dig it, and that makes me happy. And if they don't, I'm really making it for me, in a therapeutic sense, I guess. So, yeah, I'm Grover.
I'm at my wit's end, at the end of my rope. I'm dead out of hope, my pockets got no ends and I'm broke. Meanwhile, they're taking pictures and counting they knots in public. It's making me sicker, I'm getting knots in my stomach. I thought I was slick, then got caught in this shit. It's a never-ending plummet down a bottomless pit. I need stuff to lift me, I'm warped and shifty. There ain't enough drugs on this earth to fix me.
What is this? The wrap-up flow by Grover.
I was laid off. Howard Stern just came to Sirius. I was bored, and I wrote a rap. They were getting new subscribers daily, you know. So I wrote a rap for new subscribers, what's been going on the show. And they played it. And then Robin said, he's good.
You should do one every week.
Dave and Grover worked a lot together on a lot of the Stern stuff, because Grover was already involved with the Howard Stern show before I came on board.
I wasn't involved with when Grover first started on Stern. I didn't actually know him yet, so he did all that stuff on his own. But I did play on the Ronnie Block Party theme, which we were really proud of.
I contributed things like to the Block Party theme that he did.
And they jammed that all across the country. It was jammed in clubs in Vegas and all this. And, I still think that track is pretty banging.
I can't take any credit for getting Grover on the Stern Show. That was all his idea. It was really just kind of a stroke of brilliance on his part to just submit those early demos.
One of the songs I did, he had a lawsuit for getting his old tapes back. He won, so he got 20 years of tapes. So I did a song about getting his tapes back, so that was like going back to old.
This is really cool, too. There's a guy, this guy Grover, I want him to do one of these a week. I don't know if he would for us.
And then they ended up asking me to do that as a theme song for a show called Memory Lane, which goes back to, it's like an audience submits what they want to hear. So it's like, it's just kind of me rambling off a bunch of classic bits and segments from like the older shows. I did like 60 raps for the Stern Show, 60 plus. Like Vinny Paz is a fan of the show, like a fucking hardcore fan of the show, and like he knows me from the show. Like that's crazy to me. I think I did it for like a year and a half, and my computer broke. And I just kind of fucking burned out a little bit. I still kept a good relationship with the show. Like I did the theme song after that for Memory Lane. They had a Howard TV channel on demand, and Beetlejuice had his own show, and I did the theme song for that.
This is Beetle, and that's the man. What you guys say? That your baddest can. Very daddy. So be prepared to witness. This is how we handle business. Straight up. The cameraman isn't safe. I don't want no camera in my fucking face. He's big and he's strong, and you should know that this is Beetlejuice's show. This is Beetle.
I've done a lot of work with them. I've done a lot of shit for Shuli. He had a show, Miserable Man. I did a theme for that. If I put out a video, Shuli's my man. He'll hit me up and do a news story on it on Howard Stern still. He's tweeting shit out. Stern is where I got my break, and it opened a lot of doors, and then those doors opened another door.
It definitely put Grover on the map, and now it's helped put the band on the map, I guess, although I'm not sure that there's maybe 5 Stern fans that know who CGI is, but everyone knows who Grover is.
I did a show with the Stern, the Killers of Comedy, which is like the Stern guys, Sal and Richard and Shuli and all those guys. So like I did like an intro rap and introduced the show kind of. It was just weird, man, like in that room I was fucking famous, and then like I walk across the street and like I'm just a guy to get cigarettes. A guy snuck backstage and asked me if I could take a picture of with his wife, and I said sure. And he said, grab her ass. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, man, yeah, Grover and shit. And I was like, okay. But like, it's fucking weird, man. It's just weird. It's so surreal sometimes. And like, I work construction during the day, so it's like weird that I hear myself on the radio and them talking about how fucking awesome I am, like while I got fucking shitty construction boots on.
I'm Dave Kennedy.
My name's Tim Doherty.
Mike Casano.
I am the engineer and bass player / utility guy in Grover and CGI.
I play guitars, keys, and bass, and I write for the project.
And I'm Jewish.
I'm Jewish.
Drummer, producer, writer, teacher.
I've been recording Grover for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years.
Man, it's probably been like 7 or 8 years now.
I started out just kind of tracking demos and then doing some stuff for the Stern Show, and then eventually it evolved into this band.
I've known Dave since my high school days. We went to high school together, the music program and all that.
So Grover was friends with some buddies of mine that I had played in rock bands with since I was a kid. And I think he used to go in the old Dick Johnson's Music in Brockton, and so that was where they connected. Grover started coming and sitting in on some gigs that we played and sort of emceeing, adding that kind of hip-hop element to the band, which we all thought was really cool.
I guess him and Grover were working on putting together a band. There was going to be a show in New York City on Halloween in 2007, and Grover was trying to put something together to maybe get on that bill, and we got together and played a few times and tried to hash some stuff out. And we ended up not doing the gig, but you know, fast forward a couple of years and we started getting together a lot, and that's what started the whole thing.
Super talented dudes. Everybody like teaches music professionally and gigs professionally and shit. I'm like the fucking rapper.
The most self-deprecating guy that I know. He constantly, like, and it's amazing, in a genre where everybody hypes themselves and overhypes themselves, he is the polar opposite of that. He doesn't give himself enough credit, and he actually, I think, hurts himself because he so undersells his talent.
Being in a room with those dudes, like, it's almost not fair, like, you know, like, but I get that they're fucking so much more talented than me in a sense.
I've always said about him since day one that he was the most musical rapper that I knew. And having come from myself a rock background and blues and jazz and all that stuff, you know, a lot of guys in that world don't take hip-hop very seriously. And I didn't have a ton of experience with rappers, but what experience I did have, Grover was always on another level in terms of what he could hear and what he would notice, you know, musically. So I always have felt like he's a musician who just happens to rap. But he's a musical guy. And we see that lately because now he's playing drums and he's playing bass and he's playing guitar.
Not well, but he tries.
I'm trying to learn guitar and bass and shit.
I think he's always had that inclination. He just maybe, unlike me, who my mom signed me up for lessons when I was a little kid, he just didn't do that. Had he done that, he'd be a multi-instrumental musician, producer, and everything else today.
I learned so much working with those guys, man. Tim's a fucking retard with the guitar. He can fucking figure out any part. He's super adaptable. Dave is an incredible engineer. He plays bass like a motherfucker. He's a sick drummer as well. He has a little OCD.
Dave's OCD issues. What is your experience with him? You ever noticed it before?
Yeah.
I am OCD, and when I was young, I used to do things in fours, which just so happens to be, you know, common time in rock music. So now I subconsciously tend to set BPMs in increments of fours.
He doesn't like odd BPMs.
I don't like odd BPMs.
Dave's nuts, man. What else can you say?
Dave is a fucking lunatic.
So now Grover, who's constantly trolling every member of this band and really pretty much everybody that he comes in contact with, he's always like, yeah, BPM on the new one's 97. And he's just trying to irritate me.
Mike is fucking insane. Mike's the best drummer I know. And I know like 3 drummers. Mike's really good. He's again, super adaptable. He was in Drum Magazine. Like, the band thing, for me, I'm an adult. It's just kind of my way of separating myself from the pack. I do samples and I make beats and all that shit, but like, sitting in a room with guys and just kind of jamming and going, yeah, that's it right there.
The first night I came by, and Grover and Dave were already involved in one of the tunes they were doing, and I just sort of played a little solo at the end, and Grover liked it, and next time we got together, Mike was around, and so we just kept playing together, and things gelled.
That's where it like really happens. It's a totally different experience, and they're the right group of dudes for that. For Pornhub, I mean, I think I won based on I had the best entry. But saying I'm the guy that did the weekly raps for the Howard Stern show, I don't think hurts at all.
Perception is reality, and credibility comes from your association.
There was a contest, we want to hear a rap about Pornhub, and we'll put you on the site, on the front page of the site. So I was featured on Pornhub. It's like, hey mom.
And from what I remember, he just came over and he already had the rap written, and then I took a piece that he was rapping in the hook and I sang it instead, like kind of Justin Timberlake like falsetto, because we thought that'd be funny. And we banged it out in like a couple of hours and submitted it.
Now do yourself a service, I've never gone wrong when I have logged on to Pornhub.com like that. Yeah, Pornhub.com, the #1 place to get your jerk off on. Log on to Pornhub.com, that's the #1 place to get your jerk off on. Like,
it didn't surprise me that it won because Grover's good at knowing what people are looking for and giving them that.
That's like my specialty. Like, if you say write a song, it's like, well, what's it about? It's tough for me. But if you say write a song about Call of Duty, say write a song about Pornhub, write a song about this interview, it's just fucking tip. That's my strong suit. So the Pornhub thing was like super easy. I wrote it in 20 minutes maybe. A dude, Dead Horse Beats, did the beat. Dave Kennedy, who I play in the band with, you know, did some singing on it, jingled up the hook a little bit, and we won. It has a lot of views, and if you search it on the internet, it's like fucking everywhere. Like, people have MP3s of it. We put Dave's email on the in the like description of the video.
Some dude messaged us that he got called into his boss's office because he's sitting in his cubicle and he's like, #1 place to get your Jericho from. And just like subconsciously rapping that hook. And that's probably my proudest moment of anything that I've done musically, that I think we almost got a guy fired. There was also a guy who emailed something about wanting to do a little mutual masturbation with me or something.
It's pretty fucking weird.
Which I did, and it was cool. I mean, don't knock it.
They put out a beat from MTK called Mossberg Solution, which is on their album, My Brother's Keeper. Aveni is on the song. So they put out the instrumental and just said who can kick the hottest
16 from my man MTK. People rap over Mossberg Solution, and whoever had the hottest 16, we're gonna do a song with.
And it's funny, they did a blog. They said like, you know, this dude sent us a thing and he said he raps on
Stern Show. And it's funny because Vinny Paz, he's real big on Howard Stern. So I wanted to make sure his kid knew. I was like, yo, you ever hear this kid Grover on Howard Stern or whatever? He's like, yeah, I heard of him, yo, I just don't, you know, whatever. So, but that's who he killed it. The reason I gave it to him was because he was the only one that came with a different flow, and he did a good job at it. Everybody else tried to come like we came on it.
Yeah, I'm not a sports guy, but Mike and Dave, that I play in the band Grover and CGI with, they're freaks. Me and Tim are not.
Half of us in the band are sports fans, and Grover pretends to be.
They're into fantasy football and all that shit, which is like Dungeons and Dragons, I try to tell them.
It's Mike that's into fantasy football, and I do think it's Dungeons and Dragons for adults.
WEEI, me and Dave and anybody else that's a huge Boston sports fan, we've been listening to sports radio for ever, and just religiously, probably more than music. One night, Mikey Adams is like, we need a new theme song, I'm tired of the old one, and it kind of seemed like a contest, but he was really throwing it out there to people, like, you know, write me a theme song. So I'm like, man, this is like right down our alley, like we're really good at coming up with theme songs, and we can turn this stuff out really fast. So we put something together. It came together really quick. We sent it in. They sort of listened to it, and then about 7 months later, I sent out a tweet to his producer and right at Mikey, and was like, you know, listen to this again, you know, sort of thing. And they loved it, and they ended up playing it that night, and they play it pretty much every night. You can hear it like 4 times a night on WEEI, playing at Mikey.
We're still waiting for the check on that, are we not, Mike?
Yeah, we'll see. Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail? Good, yeah. It's really lucrative, by the way, the music business. Everyone should get into it.
I've been on my couch and hear somebody driving by, and it's me on the radio. It's fucking weird. I don't give a shit about being the best in terms of rapping. I just make music. I don't go hard at it. I'm not out there in the clubs fucking trying to shake hands with celebrities and meet people and network and shit. Like, I fucking hate the politics side of music. So the most success I've had is when I just go like, yeah, it'd be fun to do a song for Stern. That'd be funny. And I had no intention of them playing it. And then like I'll fucking pour my heart out on the track and like get heavy and shit, and like nobody gives a shit. But I do. A lot of those songs like where I get dark and shit, I get comments that mean more to me than like fucking a million views. Like somebody saying like, wow, this is how I feel, I just couldn't articulate it. I'm in this fucking same place, and I can't stop listening to this song because I relate to it. And like just, you know, hearing me make Howard Stern and Robin Quivers laugh and Artie Lang laugh is just fucking incredible. I used to work at a pizza joint, and they played it there at night, and then I just fucking never stopped listening. And that honed my skills big time. I did it for like a year and a half, and that honed my skills. I had to put in a song weekly. And people have told me too, like, you know, they fucking download them and shit, and I help them get through their day by laughing, and that's really fucking cool to me.
Is to hide shit in private, but not to your face. They're smiling. Talk cheap though, you're supposed to be grown, but you can't be trusted, not as far as you could be thrown. They live